First off, I want to thank everyone who watched my NFC video on the playoff scenarios for every team that's alive going into Week 18. I'll admit I had started drafting ideas for this, but I was waiting for the outcome of Monday Night Football. Due to the tragic events, I wanted to take a few days break from doing football-related stuff just because it was a very scary situation, and all I could think about was the safety of this player, Damar Hamlin, and I hope he's okay. My thoughts or prayers are with him, the family, and the Bills for this very tough time. So I'm just going to do the wild card teams since it doesn't really affect what's going on with that one. And so let's get into it. First off, we have the Chargers, who are right now at the 5th seed. Now, they're the 5th seed because they have the better AFC record than the Baltimore Ravens. They have 2 losses to NFC opponents, whereas the Ravens only have 1 loss to an NFC opponent. So if the Chargers win, they're in. If the Ravens lose, the Chargers would be in at the 5th seed. Either one of those has to happen. If the Chargers tie and the Ravens win, the Ravens then would still have the 5th seed. So the Chargers just have to win or Ravens loss, of course, a combination of 2. The Ravens would be at the 6th seed if the Chargers win, or if they lose, there's no other scenario there. It's a little tricky right now with the division. They could still win that division. I'm not sure what the NFL will do with the Bengals, and I'm just going to stay out of that right now in light of that situation, as the Bengals were one of the teams directly affected. The Patriots have a few scenarios in which they can get in. The most obvious one is that they just need to win because they hold tiebreakers over the other teams. They could also lose, and if the other 3 teams, since Miami, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee, none of those teams play each other, if they all happen to lose, New England could still get in at 8 and 9. Next, we have the Dolphins. They have beaten the Steelers, so they own the tiebreaker over the Steelers. However, they do not own a tiebreaker over New England, so they can only get in with the win over the Jets, and they need a New England loss. The Steelers can get in, but they're going to need help. They need New England and Miami to lose, and they need a win or even a tie if both of those teams ahead of them lose. The Titans, well, they actually have 2 scenarios. If they beat the Jaguars, they will be in because their record would be 1-1 versus the Jaguars. And since the Jaguars are a division opponent, the tiebreaker would be who has the better division record. If the Titans win, they would be 4-2 in the division. If the Jaguars lose, they would be 3-3 in the division. If the Titans tie with the Jaguars would own the tiebreaker because the Jaguars would be 1-0-1 versus the Titans. Another crazy wild card scenario is the Jaguars could even get that 7th wild card if they lose to the Titans. However, they would need New England, Miami, and Pittsburgh all to lose. The Jaguars own the tiebreaker over those teams, either based on head-to-head record or that they have a better AFC record, because the Jaguars have several losses against NFC teams that would account to their loss total. So I hope that makes sense. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see in the next few days how it play out, if it's appropriate to do one on the division winners, if we know where things are going. But right now, let's just pray for Damar Hamlin's health and safety and that he can have a recovery. And as always, again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more content.